most amazing artists. I hope you guys have had a great week so far. I know it's only Monday, but hopefully your day has been good so far. This is week, what is it? Week 5 of our robin's egg bird nest project. Now last week I know it was a little bit rainy outside, so maybe you weren't able to add your branches, but you can just find a sunny day, wait for a sunny day to come around and add your natural materials, because last week, remember, we went outside or I did in the video, because it was sunny when I filmed that video, and I went out and I grabbed some twigs, some bark, even little pine needles, and then I collaged it or glued it onto my collage, my painted paper that we made in week 1 and 2, and we did it in a circular composition so it looks like a bird's nest. But if you weren't able to go outside, then I also gave you the option to actually just draw your branches, your twigs. You could have drawn some leaves, flowers, cut those out, colored them, and then cut them out and glued them just like I did these real branches. So you won't have real branches on yours, but it'll still look like a bird's nest made out of twigs and natural materials. Alright, so this week is super exciting because we get to make the actual eggs for our bird's nest. And if you remember, robin's eggs are a bright, beautiful blue color, and we are going to be making 3D eggs. So I'm going to use Model Magic here, and you can find this pretty much anywhere. We just need a 1 ounce package, and you can probably find this at the Dollar General, Walmart. You're not going to need a lot because we're going to make pretty small eggs, but if you don't have Model Magic, you can use Play-Doh if you have that at home. I found this really cool bag of Play-Doh, or it's actually called modeling dough, and it comes with some cutters, and it was only $1 at Dollar Tree. So this is really great. It's a pretty big bag of dough, so you could use it for this project, and you can make some more things out of it if you decide to get this. And if you remember, at the beginning of this year, we actually made our own Play-Doh using just 2 ingredients, cornstarch and conditioner, and that video is on my YouTube channel. Just search 2 ingredient Play-Doh and that video will pop up. So you also have the option to make your own Play-Doh and use it for your robin's eggs. And last option, if you just can't get any Play-Doh and you can't make any Play-Doh, then you can actually just draw your eggs using a pencil and paper, color them a beautiful light blue color, cut them out, and glue them onto your bird's nest. So there's lots of options for how to do this, but Miss M is going to use Model Magic, and we're going to go ahead and get started right now. So here's my Model Magic. I really don't even need this much, but what I want to do is I just want to kind of squish it in my hands and warm it up a little bit because it's a little bit stiff right now coming out of that package. So I'm just gonna squeeze it. So I'm just gonna toss it back and forth between my hands and squeeze it, warm it up. And for mine, I'm just going to do 4 eggs. Typically, robins will lay 4 to 6 eggs in their bird's nest. So you can do 4 eggs, you could do 5 eggs, or you could do 6 eggs in your bird's nest. Alright, so I think my Model Magic is nice and warmed up. And now what I want to do is I want to color this. So I am just going to kind of flatten it out. And if you have white Play-Doh or Model Magic, you can do this. And you're just going to take a regular washable marker, and robin's eggs are blue, so we're going to take a little bit of blue. They're a very pale blue though, so we're only going to do a little bit of color at a time. And as you can see, I just colored right on top of my Model Magic there, and I'm going to fold it on top of itself and squish it down, and then I'm going to keep folding it and squishing. And what's going to happen is that marker is going to start mixing into the Model Magic. I don't know if you can see it already, but I see some blue appearing. So I am just going to keep mixing that in my hands, and I'll be right back to show you the next step. That looks good and mixed, and I think I want mine to be just a little bit darker. And you also have the option to add just a little bit of purple if you want to as well. And that's going to give us kind of that periwinkle, beautiful light blue color that is normally found when you see a robin's egg. So I'm just going to add a little bit more blue and some purple in there and see what colors that makes. Remember, just color it right on top of your Model Magic or your Play-Doh, fold it over, and start squishing. Alright, I think I'm pretty happy with this color for my robin egg. I like that I added a little bit of purple in there to kind of soften that blue a little bit and get that beautiful sky blue color that we're looking for, and the kind of blue that we think of whenever we think of a robin's egg. So now that we have our color, and if your Play-Doh was already colored, then you didn't have to do this step. You could just go ahead and start making your eggs. And the way we're going to do that is we are going to squish our Model Magic or Play-Doh in our hands, and we're going to start rolling it in between our hands. This is called a sphere. So we're going to make a ball just like that. It doesn't have to be a perfect ball. And then we're going to put it on our surface or plate or whatever you're using, and we're going to start using our hand. I'm just rolling it out like that. Roll it out, roll it out. And we're doing this so that we can get 4 equal sections. Or you could do 5, depending on how many eggs you want for your bird's nest. You might just want to do 4, maybe you want to do 5, or maybe you want to do 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it right in the middle. You're just going to roll it out just a little bit, and then you're going to pinch it in the middle, and pinch this bigger section in the middle, and then pinch this bigger section in the middle. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 eggs. Okay, and they're about the same size. So we did all that to make sure that they were the same size, because normally you don't have one giant egg and then one teeny tiny egg. They're all pretty much the same size. So to make our eggs, we're just going to take one section at a time, and we're going to make a ball again. And you can do that in between your hands and just roll it around, or you could do it on your table, roll it around. And if you think of an egg, they're not a perfect circle like that, are they? They're kind of like an oval. And to make that oval shape, all you have to do is pinch the top of your ball, and there you go, because we want the top to be a little bit skinnier, and then it gets fatter as it gets down. So that's more of an egg shape. All right. And we do want it to lay flat. Right now I have a curved bottom, so whenever I lay it down, it wants to roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flatten it out a little bit by pressing it down onto my plate or my table. Okay, and now we have an egg shape that's flat on the bottom. We want the bottom of our egg to be nice and flat, because next week we're going to glue them onto our bird's nest, and it'll be a little bit tricky if we have a curved bottom, because they'll just want to keep rolling around. So make sure that each of your eggs has a nice flat bottom. Alright, so there's one of my eggs done. Now I'm going to do the same for my other 3 eggs, and I'm just going to take it in between my hands, roll it, and once you have a ball shape, then you're just going to start pinching one side a little bit at a time to make that beautiful egg shape that is skinnier up at the top, and then it gets rounder and fatter at the bottom. We need a flat bottom, so I'm just going to carefully squish it down on my plate so that the back of our eggs are nice and flat. 2 eggs done, 2 more to go. Roll it in a sphere, pinch one side as best as you can. If it's easier for you, you can actually just put that down on your plate and pinch it on that surface. That's a little bit easier. And we're just pinching the top of it so that it's skinnier at the top and then fatter at the bottom, making sure that the back of our eggs are flat. And 1 more to go. make a sphere. And I'm gonna do it on my plate this time so you can see. And then pinch just one side, squish it down, pinch one side a little bit so that it's skinnier at the top, and then it gets fatter at the bottom. Squish it down, make sure the back of our egg is nice and flat, and we are good to go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 eggs, and we need to let these dry on our plate. It'll probably take about 1 day for these to dry completely, and we need to put them in a safe spot because next week we're going to need them because we are going to glue them onto our robin's egg bird nest, and I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are too. I can't wait to see how your robin eggs turn out. I know they're going to be amazing because you guys are amazing. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.